Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I thought I would do a video. I've talked about this subject a little bit, but I thought I would talk about the role of purposeful discomfort. This is something that you may have heard me talk about in regards to Stoic philosophy. A lot of Stoics practice this philosophy of purposeful discomfort. And in case you're following, you're wondering, yes, I'm back in Tampa right now. I'm getting ready to move to San Diego, so I just got back from my regular gym here. But anyway, while I was working out, I was thinking about this idea of discomfort. You know, sometimes I'm thinking about, like, why am I lifting weights? Like, maybe I should be using this time to do something else. Why fast? Like, if I backed off on the fitness side a little bit, perhaps, you know, I'd have more time. I could grow more on the business side and have a little bit more fun. And then I sometimes have to kick myself right in the nuts when I start to think that way, because, and I'll tell you why, is because even if I didn't see the benefits from the workout that I wanted, the fact that it's uncomfortable, that it's difficult, is actually a very good attribute in my life. And I'll tell you why. Because without discomfort, without intentional discomfort, or it doesn't have to be intentional, but without some level of discomfort in your life, if things get too cushy, you get too soft. And when you get too soft, you can't respond to challenges, and pretty soon a lot of things that you've built can erode over time, right? So you might have developed a work ethic, a solid work ethic that's gotten you to where you are, but that can erode over time if you stop challenging yourself. In fact, a lot of people, this is a very, very common thing. So it's more easy to go uphill or downhill than it is to stay on a level plane, right? Once you reach altitude, it's harder to cruise. It's easier to climb, it's easier to decline. You can decline really fast, but and the reason for that, I don't know the reason for that. Maybe it's momentum, but you know, you'll see this all the time, right? When someone is doing really well, they're training for an event, let's say, or they're doing a diet or fitness program, or they're striving to receive some kind of certification or get their degree or something like that, right? And they're working really hard, they're accomplishing things, they're getting there, and as soon as they reach that point, that goal, and they just want to maintain where they're at, that's when they're getting ready for a dive. They don't maintain it, they blow up. You know, a lot of bodybuilders go and they diet for the contest, they get to that day, and then afterwards they blow up afterwards, and they go downhill from there. A lot of people have this happen, and they get depressed. I can't remember the video now. If I think of it, I'll link it, or I'll talk about it again. But I did a video about, you know, when you achieve your goals, you get depressed. I might have done a blog post about this. Anyway, you know, or it might have been a Get Up and Code episode, now that I'm thinking about it. I know I've talked about this somewhere, about this idea that when you achieve your goals, oftentimes you go into depression because you wrap your identity in it. So anyway, the point of this is really about that you need some kind of hardship in your life. You need some kind of discomfort. Now, there's various ways to do this. I'm not saying like be poor, but you could practice being poor. That's what like Stoics would, you know, I think Seneca talked about, like eating stale bread for like 3 days, or fasting, or like sleeping on the ground, you know what I mean? Living like a poor person so that he could practice that. And it might seem silly, but these things will keep you from getting soft. And it'll have another side effect of making you less fearful, right? A lot of things that we fear today is not like a hungry lion gonna eat us, or us being attacked. It's not physical safety, it's financial stability. We fear being on the street and starving, right? But that's not a reality. That's unlikely to happen. And then if you do fast, if you do live in discomfort, if you do live on a smaller budget, you realize it's not that bad, right? There's still joy, there's still excitement, there's still life. You don't have to be reclining on your sofa, sitting in front of your 55-inch flat screen TV, watching Netflix, in eating, you know, whatever steak dinner to be happy. You can be happy on a lot less. In fact, that will make you soft if you continue to do that all the time. So you got to have some things that are challenging, that are difficult, that keep you on the incline. You have to be making advancements in life and also suffering some kind of discomfort so that you are able to be the person that can rise to the challenge. If you're always in comfort, you're not going to be able to rise to the challenge. I don't care if this is in your physical life, in your relationships, in your career, you've got to be able to do that. So what are some things you can do? Well, as you probably know, you can see my video on why I fast until 5 every day. I talk about, the diet benefits of that. But another reason why I fast until 5, sometimes people ask me, it's because of the discipline aspect of it. It's because it's a hardship. It's difficult to not eat anything until 5 o'clock every single day. But if I have the mindset to do that, then what can I not do, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if I've been doing that for almost 2 years now, right? Then whatever challenge comes by is not going to be much more difficult than that. So it's a great exercise, right? I'm not saying everyone has to do that, but it's one example. I've heard of people, I think it's Joel Runyan, I believe. You can look him up. Anyway, he popularized this idea of taking cold showers, like every morning, waking up and taking an ice cold shower, for 30 days or something like that. I know that a lot of people I've heard have done that. I haven't done that routine myself. I'd like to try that. Sleeping on the floor, you know what I mean? Going and roughing it for a few days, survival, kind of camping out. There's a lot of ways that you can do this. You can restrict your budget. You can abstain from certain things for some period of time, right? Think about, you know what I mean? I'm not saying live in poverty. I'm not saying like be not a martyr, but a sadist, or that you should be whatever, that you should get some joy out of living in pain. But what I'm saying is that make sure that you at least have one thing in your day that you hate, that you dislike doing. Life cannot be so good that there's nothing, that everything is just awesome every single day. You need to do one thing that maybe makes you scared, you've heard that before, that challenges you in some way, and that you just don't want to do, because that's going to keep you from getting soft. I guarantee you, if you don't have that, you're going to get soft. And someday when you need to draw upon your strength, and you will, because I guarantee you hard times are coming. If you're living high, every single time I've thought that I'm just cruising, something hits me, right? And it depends on where I'm at, whether or not I can handle that. It's the difference between it breaking you and it making you. When you're weak, when you're soft, and something hits you, blindsides you, it breaks you. When you're strong and something hits you, it makes you stronger, right? You got to develop that inner strength, and sometimes suffering intentional discomfort is a way to do that. Another side of this, and then I'm going to wrap this up, is that if you are suffering some kind of discomfort right now, a lot of people email me and they're like, my boss is an asshole, my job sucks, my wife is a B, all this stuff, right? I get if you can think of a problem, someone has emailed me an essay about it. I guarantee you. I don't always respond to all of these super long emails on this channel, but I guarantee you, if you're suffering that, right, your boss is a jerk, whatever, you're having problems, that's your discomfort. You're getting that for free. It's a benefit, it's a bonus, right? It's making you stronger. It's either making you stronger or it's making you softer. You choose. It's up to you. It's how you interpret that situation. So you can say, oh, I'm such a victim. My boss, is a jerk. My work environment sucks. I have to work on VB6. Or you can say, this challenge is developing in me character, because I'm having to suffer through this hardship and I'm showing perseverance through it. And by doing that, by having this discomfort in my life, this nag in my side, this thorn in my side, as Paul would say from the Bible, right? It's keeping me humble, and it's keeping me strong. It's keeping me from getting soft and weak. Right? And we all fall into this, right? I have periods of time where I was soft. I looked soft. I mean, I was pudgy, right? I was soft, and I those are scary, because you step up to the precipice and you look over, right? And this happens with sanity too. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you can get to a point of no return where you're like, you know, there were some points in my life where I look back now and I was tipping over the edge of no return, of now you're not coming back. You're going to be that kind of person that doesn't even realize, because once you lose that recognition, that self-recognition of who you're supposed to be and what it is, it's really hard to awaken it again. You could be gone forever. You could forget all this. You could become so soft that you never regain that strength, because you live in a fear. You live in a box. The box gets smaller and you can't see that there was something outside of the box. You lose the memory. It's like you have amnesia of what life is supposed to be. Every day you should be seeing more. Your box should be opening more. It should be expanding more. The way that happens is through suffering. Well, not necessarily suffering, but through some kind of hardship or discomfort. That's how we see more. That's how our perspective grows. It's really hard for perspective to grow and for that to happen if you're living in too much comfort all the time and you're becoming soft. So anyway, that's my thought for today. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully this benefits you. So go out and do something that you hate. Make a list. Come up with something that you hate to do every day and do it. Challenge yourself to do it. Realize why you're doing it, because it's making you stronger. It's keeping you from getting soft. It's preparing you for the day when you're going to need that strength. And believe me, you will. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel.